From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, son.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
Well, this morning is what we in the industry like to call a bust forecast. Yeah, this morning, I'll be the first to admit that I was wrong. The forecast model was not indicating that there would be much in the way of rain, if any, for the valley in particular, and that most of it would be off into the eastern mountains. But the rain that we did see this morning, even though it wasn't that much, it was definitely more than I anticipated and was enough to most likely damper some of your outdoor plans. We saw anywhere from, say, 100th out in Willows to over about 600ths of an inch of rainfall for parts of the valley. And there may have been more than that in parts of around Redding as well. But you can see the more impressive amounts of rainfall were off to the east, and it may have been a little bit more than that in Bernie, by the way. And there you can see close to a half an inch out in Susanville. Look at that out in Alturas. Almost 3/4 of an inch of rainfall, and not nearly as much to the north and to the east. And again, as expected. So again, I'm the first to admit my faults, and when I'm wrong, I'm not perfect. I can't hit it out of the park every time, but I still think I got a pretty good batting average. All right, let's get you through Kruger's Quickcast here. And what we're going to be looking at here as we go through the night tonight are some pretty cool temperatures. That cooler air has moved on in, and we're going to be dropping down somewhere in the upper 40s to even low 50s. So it's cooling off a bit. Should, for the most part, stay above freezing. But there are places like Tennant, around 30, 32 degrees for Tule Lake, 30 for Doris, and about 33 for Weed. We take out to Hoopa tonight in the low 40s and in the mid 40s tonight. Along the coast here. So heading out the door tomorrow morning, there may be a few showers, especially off to the east in Modoc County and in the eastern mountains. But overall, tomorrow is not going to amount to much, if anything. And I'll show you what I'm talking about when we take a look at Futurecast here. And I know Futurecast doesn't have the best track record, especially in the last 24 hours. But all the forecast models pretty much agree with it, with what's going to happen tomorrow. So here you can see, again, this evening we're still seeing a little bit of activity out there, but by tonight, most of it's out of here. Now, tomorrow morning, you can see the next system coming in. Now, you'll notice the snow that's associated with this. This is a colder storm system. So it is going to bring some snow down to as low as 5,000 feet. So the Warner Mountains, out towards some of the Siskiyous, the Marble Mountains, maybe seeing some a dusting of snow, as well as Mount Shasta, the mountain itself, maybe seeing some. But 8 a.m. you can see a little bit of activity towards Modoc County, maybe a little bit of activity in the east as well in Lassen and Plumas counties, and maybe even parts of northern Siskiyou County as well. Let's take you into the noon hour. You can see maybe a pop-up shower or two here, but maybe even an isolated thunderstorm down to the south and east. But pretty much almost everyone else not looking at much activity out there. And then 5 p.m. Thursday, once again, maybe a stray shower for parts of eastern Modoc County, Lassen County as well. Otherwise, it's dry for the rest of us. So really, it's mainly Modoc, Lassen, and Plumas counties that's going to see the best potential for some stray off and on isolated showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm down to the south, and snow down to about 5,000 feet could give us a light dusting of snow at some of those elevations. And then we go into Thursday night. It's all pretty much done with, and we're dry from that point forward for really quite as far as the eye can see. So here you can see your forecast for tomorrow. Cooler air is in place. Yeah, we're only getting into the low 70s for most of us in the valley. Look at that, out towards Lassen Park, a high of only 39 degrees, but 56 degrees for Susanville, 51 for Alturas. We've got 67 in Hoopa, and temperatures in the mid to upper 50s for the coast. So let's take a look at your 7-day outlook. And what we've got here are dry conditions, number one. Temperatures going up and down. Saturday, we're up to about 82, and then back down to the mid to upper 70s for Sunday through Wednesday of next week. Take you to the coast, you'll notice I've got that chance in there on Monday. There's essentially a very weak system just skirting to the north of Northern California that could potentially bring some showers for parts of northern Del Norte County, also into northern Siskiyou County and northern Modoc County as well. But otherwise, it will be dry for the most part, with temperatures kind of going up and down. Now, you got the chance for showers possibly on Thursday for Mount Shasta, Alturas, and even Susanville. But at this point, it doesn't look like it's going to amount to much. Everyone else should be dry for your Thursday and going with continued dry conditions through mainly Wednesday of next week. All right, that is a look at your quick cast. Let's get you into your deeper dive. All right, so the cooler air has moved in, so that's dropping our temperatures. You're going to notice the cooler temperatures here for tomorrow. Slimmer chances for rain tomorrow, but those chances I just mentioned, right? And then, of course, we've got the frost and freeze alerts in the mountains. We're talking upper teens, low 20s for some of the colder spots in the mountains. And on top of that, we've got a red flag warning Thursday through Saturday. So we're not out of that fire season just yet. So let's take a look at the winds. Look at those winds really picking up. We're talking over 30, even close to 40 miles per hour where the areas in red are. We've also got gusty winds off to the east, but the main concern here is in the valley and the surrounding foothills. Now, what you'll notice here is the first half of the day on Friday looking pretty gusty, but the wind's not as strong for Friday afternoon. And that'll probably be the case again on Saturday. But the humidity is also something we've got to look at. As you can see here for Thursday, we're down into the upper teens for the most part, and significantly lower on Friday. We're down into the single digits. So we're going to be looking at winds, we're going to be looking at very dry conditions, and that's why there's a red flag warning for the areas in red, basically the valley and the surrounding foothills, for Thursday evening through Saturday night. Again, the gusty winds and the low humidity. Taking a look at the severe weather outlook, if you recall for Thursday, we had all of this green right in this area right here. Okay, the Storm Prediction Center has taken that all out. Because again, all of the shorter range forecast models are now agreeing that anything we do see tomorrow is not going to be very significant. And you'll see that here as we look at futurecasts. We saw it here just a second ago. Let's take another look at it. But there you can see we're wrapping things up here this evening. Tonight it will be dry. We're mainly dry tomorrow morning. So really the best chances for any activity whatsoever, whether it's a stray sprinkle, a snow flurry above 5,000 feet, or maybe even an isolated thunderstorm, mainly just sprinkles and light showers, will be parts of Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and Lassen County. Okay, that's what we're looking at here for tomorrow morning. Everyone else will be dry through the day on Thursday. There you can see maybe a pop-up thunderstorm here for parts of southern Lassen County, even eastern Plumas County. Maybe an isolated thunderstorm popping up in Modoc County, and there's a little bit of snow flurry action off into Siskiyou County. Then by Thursday, 5 p.m., it's all pretty much done with, and by Thursday night into Friday, we're looking at dry conditions and mainly sunny skies, and getting a little bit warmer too, even though those temperatures are dropping significantly here for tomorrow. So the winds are again that concern. The main reason why we got that is this right here. It's called an inside slider, and this is the storm system that moved through today, and it mainly kind of pushed through the north and east of us, and then that's essentially what's kind of pushing down to the south. That's what's going to give us the gusty winds here for your Thursday and Friday. And then on Saturday, this will kind of move farther away from us. As it does that, the winds should begin to relax on Saturday. And then Sunday, there it is. See the Sunday to Monday, that weak system that passes to the north. That's why I'm including a slight chance for showers for northern Del Norte, northern Siskiyou, and northern Modoc County Sunday night into Monday. Now this storm system right here, the long-range forecast model has been going back and forth on the overall placement of this storm system. Now, both the GFS, which is what we're looking at here, and the European forecast model are actually in pretty good alignment right now. And what they're doing is they're just keeping this storm system down to off to our west, that is. There's next Wednesday, October 23rd, the storm system way off to our west. It's going to inch closer on Thursday and even Friday, but still won't be on shore at that point. Now, we can't completely rule out maybe a chance for showers by the end of next week with this system, so it's something we'll have to watch closely. But for now, it doesn't look very promising for a lot of rainfall. And that's why I'm a little confused and scratching my head a little bit why the Climate Prediction Center is putting us in the wetter than normal conditions here. We'll have to kind of wait and see. But bottom line, you saw there, even through the end of next week, we're just not seeing much in the way of rain, if anything, really. Looking at that 10-day trend with the temperatures, Really, the only point where we reach temperatures above normal will be on Saturday, the high of 82, but we're mainly in the 70s, low 70s by the time we get into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So significantly cooler weather in the forecast, and it's just going to be much more pleasant. Now we look at those wave heights, and they are going to be dropping a little bit here. So you can see those winds will be from the north at about 15 to 20 knots. Your waves from the north at 5 feet at about 5 seconds. And there you can see there are no advisories at this point. Okay, so let's take a look at your forecast for tonight. Again, it's getting cool. We're getting around or just below freezing after the northeast portions of Siskiyou County. Otherwise, elsewhere in the mid to upper 30s for those overnight lows. And you've got those mid 40s for the coast and upper 40s to low 50s for the valley. Now, there is a freeze watch for the areas in light blue here for Thursday night through Friday morning. Temperatures there will be in the upper 20s to low 30s. Where you see purple is where we've got a freeze warning for Friday morning, basically 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. And that's going to be in the upper teens to upper 20s, basically between 20 and 28 degrees for that morning low. So that's pretty cold. And, you know, the thing is, we should be looking at that even for all of Modoc County, because places like Alturas, you could be looking at those temperatures dropping down into the upper teens here for Friday morning. Bottom line, it's going to be a cold morning. You know, obviously not freezing in the valley, but it'd be pretty chilly in the valley as well. So there's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures low to mid 60s for those daytime highs tomorrow. So it's going to cool off even more. You'll notice the 7-day outlook, keeping it dry for the next 7 days, with the exception of northern Del Norte County, maybe seeing a chance for a shower Sunday night into Monday. Otherwise dry for the next 7 days. Look for a high of 56 for Klamath, 68 degrees for Orleans, 67 degrees in Hoopa, and Willow Creek about 69 degrees tomorrow. It's going to be more pleasant out there. 51 out in Weed. You'll notice a slight chance for some showers. Snow down to as low as 5,000 feet on Thursday. Don't count on much. Don't count on much snow either. And then maybe that passing shower Sunday night into Monday for northern portions of Siskiyou County and northern portions of Modoc County. So Tule Lake, maybe Fort Bidwell, maybe Alturas, Canby. South of that, most likely dry on Monday. But you get the idea. Maybe a chance for a shower, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm here for tomorrow. Temperatures only in the low to mid 50s for Thursday, Friday, and then back up in the mid to upper 60s after that. Eastern mountains, we've got a chance for showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm as well. It's dry for the rest of the period after that through the weekend. We're up to 70 by Sunday all the way through Wednesday of next week. But for tomorrow, there you can see 60 in Greenville and 62 degrees out in Quincy. We take you to the Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamith Painting. We've got those temperatures in the low 70s for your daytime highs. 71 degrees for Corning, 72 degrees in Willows and Gridley, about 72 degrees. Up north, 72 for Reading, 73 out in Anderson, and 73 degrees in Palisadro. So let's take a look at your 7-day outlook for Reading. You got dry conditions. It's warming back up to 82 degrees on Saturday, and then it looks like in the mid to upper 70s for Sunday through Wednesday of next week. That's your evening update. I'll be back again at 6 o'clock in the morning for your latest forecast and Coffee with Kruger live at 7 a.m. Have a good night.
Barr & Mudford is a top established firm here in the North State. Founded over a half-century ago, Barr & Mudford is protecting the rights of our neighbors and community. We take our commitment to our clients very seriously and provide a level of excellence unrivaled in the North State. Barr & Mudford, standing up for the rights of our neighbors and our beautiful community, serving Northern California with excellence.